reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm your other host, Quincy.
Oh, how you doing over there, Q?
I'm a little tired today. It's been a long work day, and I just got back from vacation. And you ever go on vacation and you kind of hit everything as hard as you can because it's just great to be able to do stuff, and that leaves you exhausted.
No, I can't say that I have.
That was very much this vacation. Like we did everything we possibly could.
Well, everything? There wasn't one
Yes.
last thing on the... Okay, well then, I would say that's
Yep,
at
check
least...
all the boxes.
I would say that's at least a job well done.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very happy. Just tired.
That's fair.
Coming back home and immediately just straight into work. Like literally the day I drove back, I was working.
Oh, that's a bit rough, but caught up or nah?
Not caught up, not behind, but not ahead, I guess would be the correct thing. So I guess technically caught up, just not ahead.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine then. Just as long as you have the space to breathe, please.
Yeah.
Drink anything special?
I actually have just the regular coffee. Nothing fancy today. So it's just the Starbucks. I can't remember which one it is, but the Starbucks K-Cup.
I'm just drinking me a 7-Up Zero Sugar. I need to pick up a tea one of these days. But I'm really starting to enjoy the Zero Sugar sodas a lot more.
There's some pretty good ones out there.
Mm-hmm. Next on the list, a little bit down the line, is that Fresca you keep talking about.
The Frescas are good. I didn't get any this time because they weren't part of the sale.
No. We noticed them on sale for like under $5, and I was like, maybe. And I was like, nah, let's not do nothing new. But doop. Oh, I've also been playing I touched very briefly Deltarune Chapter 3. Once we're done with the cast, I'm probably gonna hop on that because Deltarune, big drop, big huge drop. Has already hit 3 million players, and it hasn't even been out for more than 16 hours.
Bravo.
Over here on the good old Humble Bundle, the Humble Bundle choice has changed over to June, and pretty big bangers, I gotta say. Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, a really good boomer shooter with some good features. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, if you're a fan of the old PlayStation games. Nobody Wants to Die, a good noir, cyberpunk-ish, with a little bit of Blade Runner thrown in. Dungeons of Hinterberg, I only played a brief touch of this. I need to get back to that one. That one was starting to get fun. Tachia, which is like a nice little roam around game where you meet people, climb, fish, swim, explore. It seems like a fun little relaxing game. Skur Ritual, which I know the mate of Skur, but I don't know about the Skur Ritual. Seems like a first-person shooter that's a little bit more mature. It seems fun. Might hop into this one. Ugh, that's you.
That's how I feel like.
That's fair. Biped, a interesting platforming game that you need to trust another robot for. You can either set the robot to do what you command it to or drive it manually. It seems fine. It also does physics puzzles, so slam one thing on the end of a seesaw, launch the other one up. Seems like a fine little romp. And then Haven Dock, where you start off on a small little island, but build it up to be a huge dock. It seems like it also has a little bit of maintaining, managing resources, that sort of thing. Maybe some automation because of the oil rigs. And then another month free of IGN Plus, which mine is about to expire, but I don't know. There wasn't really much I enjoyed with the IGN Plus stuff. There was a couple what they call articles that I read, but I'm pretty sure I could have gotten those for free. Even still, $12 for all of this, not a bad deal. And it helps out the Trevor Project because this month is Pride Month. The Trevor Project is a nonprofit organization that is focused on suicide prevention and efforts for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning youth.
And happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month, yes. Over on Destiny, they have a 4-pack of shaders for 800 that is asexual, bisexual, I think transgender, and one other. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know the colors of the flags on them. But there's a code that you can activate to get a color changing rainbow original Pride one, the original gay one. I keep putting that one on. It's really nice looking.
That's cute. I like that they did that.
Speaking of Pride, Power Up Pride, a month-long bundle that they usually hold every month. This one is, once again, full of games with a little bit more pride, a little bit of love that, well, it's prideful. Ones that aren't my cup of tea, but maybe yours. Echoes of
Non-hetero.
Yeah, non-hetero or match-style games that also have not safe for work style materials.
Oh, well, that's definitely something that we can't show.
Yeah. Echoes of Plum Grove. This one I saw was a cozy farm simulator, and this one looked fine. This one seemed like a much more fun, cozy style game. They say play with a friend or a loved one in order to get the maximum benefit. Kindred Spirits on the Roof. This one is the one that's marked not safe for work / mature. The mix it's a visual novel.
So was I misunderstanding when you were saying not your cup of tea? You were trying to come up with the word. They're not your style of games. Not that they are LGBTQ.
That is correct. I support 100% the LGBT community.
Well, no, I thought you were trying to think of the right wording to state that they weren't hetero games. I see what you're saying now.
Yes. I'm dumb. Haven. This game I'd have played. This one has a regular hetero couple, but they are very agender to one another because they don't.
Regular is the wrong word there.
Huh?
Regular is the wrong word there. Just a hetero.
Hetero. Okay.
Yes.
A hetero relationship. It is. They are both agender, but they see each other just as lovers. They don't have any of sorts. But I truly liked it. The gameplay was fantastic. Music was good. I didn't get too far into it, but I probably might hop back into it. Sticky Business, where you start up a sticker shop. There's mild bits and bobs of story, I believe, thrown in there. Hearts of the Woods, a visual novel. Once again, not really too much of my cut. Welcome to Elk. Play as Frigg and learn true story told by real people on an island like no other. Drama, trauma, and love and laughter hide around every corner. This one's another one of those exploratory games, but with a lot of storytelling. This one I've heard about. A Normal Lost Phone. You pick up a phone and you don't really know who's messaging at this time to whom or for why. And it kind of goes deep, very quickly. It is very traumatic when someone loses their phone. It's very traumatic when that person's missing and also unable to contact anyone. It's a toughie. This one helps out Experience Studios, which is a black-led, Oakland-based 501c3 that provides professional entrepreneurs in the video game industry opportunities to become successful and build self-sustaining businesses. They also help out LGBTQ and women in development. So the fantastic studio. I'm hoping that they begin to push out a lot more games because they also do a internship. Help me out here.
Internship.
An internship to help get people from point A to point B into development studios and get people good jobs in this day and age where we're seeing a lot of people downsizing. But dupe. Speaking of interesting downsizing movements, Cyberpunk 2 was released not too long ago, and I'm very excited to see what
the trailer for Cyberpunk 2, right?
No, nothing yet. Just a
no. What did we see? What was released
Witcher.
for it? No,
Oh,
for Cyberpunk 2. You said
oh,
Cyberpunk 2.
for Cyberpunk 2, it was just a simple image that said it's in pre-development.
Oh, okay. Because you said Cyberpunk 2 was released, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought we just had like a trailer or something. But yeah, we had the image. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077 Dark Horse Comics book bundle has a lot of their comics, the art books, such as The World of Cyberpunk and Gwent, The Art of the Witcher card game. Some really good looking covers. Like, I really love these Cyberpunk ones. I dare not click into the previews just because these are a bit
That's
more,
probably for the best.
they're a bit more mature content. Some that talk about the pretenses that lead up to Cyberpunk 27, the game. So, like, Cyberpunk 2077, Where's Johnny seems to be an idea of we may not have Johnny found out yet before he's put on that data chip. Unknown, but I'm definitely interested in getting this set. I would prefer to get the comics in live because, god damn, those covers look so. Oh my god! Oh, that's a really nice cover. But even still, $24, I believe, for all 25 of these. That is correct. And it helps out Special Effect, which is a specialized UK-based charity dedicated to helping all people with disabilities enjoy video games, from injured soldiers to young disabled people who can't play any other way, whether they are in the hospital, hospice, rehabilitation center, or at home. They just want to make sure video games get to hands, capable hands that are willing to play these games. And I can appreciate that. Doop. Oh boy. So, today we had a PlayStation State of Play, and there's a lot to talk about, but that's not going to be all over the course of today, just because Friday we're getting Summer Games Fest. Saturday we're getting wholesome games, women-led games, and the IGN's coverage of the Future Game Show, which also includes the Southeast Asian Game Show, the Planet Play Green Games Show, and the Frosty Games Celebration. Whew. I'm still not done. Sunday, Bethesda will take over on their Xbox Games Showcase, along with PC Gamer and IGN doing their backblasting coverage of the late games. Monday, we're getting Steam Next Fest with all of the demos that we'll be able to play, and the Media Indie Exchange Black Voices in Gaming on Monday. There is a lot of content that is going to be shoveling over the next 6 days, 8 days, 8 days. Yeah, holy crap. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled, or next week we'll brush over a little bit of it because so this is gonna be a lot. Outer Worlds 2 is also going to be a big talking point. They're wanting to showcase a half hour of gameplay. Let's hope they.
That's a lot of gameplay.
I'm glad. I'm glad they're finally showing a lot of gameplay for that. But before we get into the state of,
Let's hope they pick somebody that can actually play the game.
let's hope so. A fantastic 16 and a half minute long tech demo trailer at Unreal, State of Unreal 2025. They showed a few of their Cinemark, Cinebenches, a few how ray tracing can be easily adapted to earlier cards, but at the same time you lose a little bit of performance. Be sure to update your graphics cards, etc. They showed off some physics and whatnot, and then they said, "Oh yeah, here's Witcher 4 in Unreal Engine 5.6." And then for 16 minutes began to boggle my mind on how beautiful this looks. Now, this isn't Red Engine anymore. This is Unreal Engine, which means that the light snow that's flickering off is actually produced in game. It's not premeditated. It is in engine. I found this demo to be fantastic. The person playing it seems to be doing fine with it. The further we go in, let me go into the detailing, that they begin to build trees using assets. And they say, what kind of tree do you want? Oh, you want this kind? Okay, well, we're going to use halfway AI to script this tree.
Oh.
And with the halfway AI, it basically says, oh, you want like a little bit of burnt tree. You want a little bit of like flaking. Oh, you want it to be an older tree. You want it to be a tall tree. and then begin to kind of paint the world that way. That I don't mind as far as AI helping. But just because someone had to paint the original tree portion of it in order for it to be built like that. I can respect how Unreal Engine has made for this because this is kind of how Unreal Engine works. You place down a thing and it becomes a template that you can build upon. You basically put down the palette, put down the sticks, boom, you'd have your house. I can really respect how these physics also work. Hair, clothes. Now, Socks in Chat says, I don't know if I call that AI. Each tree is built using AI. Not everybody's going to see the same tree you do. That's why I'm like a little. It is AI too small.
Is AI actively building it, or is it a program that they designed that just builds trees?
To a small degree, yes. It is a program that helps build the trees. It also helps with rock motions, as you saw just there. Here, let me rewind a little bit. So, oh no. So with the rock,
because it more sounds like a rendering tool and a physics tool than it does AI.
So a little bit of both. So that rock moving is AI generated. It is generated to move one piece to allow water to move to other things, and then the water begins to splash up onto the shore. So it is a more dynamic physics engine, I guess you can call it that. And Unreal has taken a lot of turns, and then there's like so many different ways you can get onto Kelpie or horse. There's a lot of ways water can flow in this. Unreal
Yeah, because this more sounds like a better physics tool and a better render tool than it does, like a render tool with a random number generator essentially than it does an AI tool.
Sure. I mean, then the numbers are exponential because anything can happen if the framework allows for it. Like the rock could go way downstream comparative, but some people only see that rock tumble only a couple inches. It's I guess
I said,
it's
random numbers.
Yeah, I guess the random numbers is 1 in a million style stuff. That's what a bit would be. I guess I see it that way. But in short, AI has helped build the terrain and keep the world of The Witcher as vibrant as it is. And I'm very happy that they showed off as much as they did. Am I still excited?
Hopefully no one lost their jobs because of the AI.
Oh, no, God, no. I wouldn't want no one to be thrown out of this because look at how fucking beautiful this is. Someone still had to make that. Me too, cat. Me too. Badoop.
Yeah, I don't know what his issue is tonight. He's been throwing a fit like all night.
That's fair. As mentioned, the State of Play happened, and holy crap, was there a lot of both interesting games and crazy games, such as Romeo is a Dead Man, brought to us by Swery41. He's a very eccentric man who makes very strange games, such as oh god, what is it called? It just went on sale. Deadly Premonition, where you play as a detective who has schizophrenia, and upon that schizophrenia has to ask his own person for guidance and goes into a nightmare realm to figure out murder mysteries. And here we have, I don't know how much further I can go into this one, but Romeo gets eaten at his doorstep and then gets turned into a Power Ranger, I guess is the best way of putting it. And he's called Dead Man. It looks like a fun little hack and slash 'em up. Very gory, very bloody. Very nice. Not much else. It just says keep an eye out. Haha. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Thank you.
That artwork there, I can't think of his name. That's all the horror anime or manga.
Oh, Ito.
Yeah, kind of gives me Ito vibes. Shinji Ito vibes.
A little bit. I would actually very much be afraid if both Swery and Ito work together. Of course it would be a state of play if they didn't add in a little bit of a push to get PSVR into the minds of people. So Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow, happens just after Thief 2016, but in VR, playing as I think the handler of Thief 2016. Same mechanics, pretty much, just with a little bit more adaptability of, wiggling your hands and being able to pick locks in actual, I suppose. I don't have a PSVR, so I'm unsure of how good it would be. Hopefully
I
they
have the
drop.
old one, so I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Hopefully they release this for like Meta 3 or something. Oh, but from 2008 to now, there has been a very interesting indie jam game that has slowly kept in my mind called OFF, where you play as the batter and you go through a celestial journey, and I mean that in its literal sense. You are a batter going around taking souls from either a purgatory or something of a sort and just kind of dealing with them. It's a good, great story. I recommend it. The prologue is available at offtherpg.com or on Steam. It's free to play. It's not bad. However, from that time of dropping the prologue to now, chapter 1 and 2 have slowly been building up, and he is now ready to release this on Steam and Nintendo Switch. So I'm really excited. Later on this year, I might pick this one up. I really like Off. The music is fantastic. Everything's getting a re-render up. The gameplay looks about the same as it used to, just with a little bit more psychedelic color scheme. Badoop. Speaking of
The only thing
Meow,
that bugs me there is that was marked for Switch 2.
was it? Oh,
Yeah, on that image.
I hope that it's available for the Switch one. But even so, I'm gonna get it for Steam. But I hope that it isn't just for Switch 2 because it's not that intensive. I just hope that it's available for that. Speaking of Meow, Copycat, a game where someone loses their cat, finds one that looks very similar to the cat that they once had, and then, well, the story kind of ensues from there. It seems like the cat gets picked up and adopted by a new family, has to run away, very stray-like, but without the robots and more actual humanity. Um, I don't know why, but when I saw this game, I immediately clinked into um Lilo and Stitch. Like it immediately clunked onto my head, and that scene where Stitch is sitting in the rain going, "Lost, lost." But this definitely gave those kind of vibes. It During the trailer, it showcases a couple other reviewers saying that this is a very wholesome game. Very tears will. Let me see if I can't find that. Let me see if I can't find that thing. Tears will flow the further you sink your claws in by Tech Radar. So be prepared for a sad journey with a cat. I don't like sad
Why is
journeys
that
with
like the
cats.
new thing?
Making people cry or cry with
No,
cats.
sad journeys with cats.
It works. It
I
sells.
guess.
Mm-hmm. Badoop.
Can I have a fun, happy journey with a cat?
I mean, there was Little Kitty Big City.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there?
I like Little Kitty Big City. I got lost a couple times and then I was like, I don't know what to do, and I just never popped back. That's on me. Uh, Going back to 1991, where the point and click adventures, where they were being bit crushed to no hell. The Drifter definitely takes a page from those, and I gotta say, this looks fun. If you've ever played the game The Dig, this game definitely feels like The Dig, where you have these pixelated sprites talking to one another, and it looks very crunchy, very grungy, a little mature comparative, but it's a point and click adventure that has people calling you dumb, but you're not doing something dumb. You need to tell people what you're. This is what I need to do this, and then things get a little bit more crazy as the moments go on. I might get this. This looks hella fucking fun. Have you played any point and click adventures, Q?
Not since I was like a kid. Like
Oh.
I used to play Casper one a lot.
There was a Casper one?
Yeah, so basically it's based off the movie, and the Harveys go on vacation, and so you're Casper dealing with like a mystery that's going on at the house, and you have to like find all these different items, or you're helping Casper. And you have to find like all these different items to unlock different passageways. You meet the other ghosts that live there, not just the uncles. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I might have to, as Sock says in chat, Putt Putt and Freddy Fish and Spy
yeah, I
Fox.
played those. Yeah.
Those are fun. But this one takes a little bit more of the gritty, the dig, or Dark Seed, if you know that one. That one's real dark. But doop. Oh, this one does not have a date except for 2026, I think. Oh no! July 17th, 2025. But doop. Let me check the list. There's the list. Okay. Horror Tales Eats the World. Quincy and I both have a generalized opinion about scary games where we want to defend ourselves. We want to fight back the horrors of this world. We don't care that it has, microphone features where you got to be quiet. We don't care if it looks fantastic. We don't care if the monsters look, scary or not.
Like, all respect to the game and all respect to the people that can play those games.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not going to be one of those people.
Yeah, I want a shotgun. And in the near future, we'll be talking about one that does have something very similar. But this one
punched the mic just then.
is okay. Horror Tales Eats the World is very much a keep your voice down unless you pull the whatever the creature is. You see one that kind of stands up like a skinwalker. It's fine. Not something I would want to get, but it looks scary. But doop. A game series I didn't really know too much about until I caught a glimpse of this trailer. It does look familiar, like I've seen it in like a early on tips and tricks book or a Game Pro, like one of those. Not Game Informer. I want to say it was one of the earlier ones that I can vaguely recall. But Anima, Gate of Memories 1 and 2 get a remaster, and it was announced during the State of Play. And I gotta say, it looked fun. Looked like a good old time. A nice little hack and slash where you could switch between the two characters, one that's controlled by chaos and one that's controlled by hope, I guess. And the graphic upbringing, you can actually see it in the trailer. They do a side-by-side comparison of the areas. You can actually see the visual upgrades. Gets a big thumbs up if not only Night Dive, but you get other companies doing all these really nice re-renders and remakes. Good work. But I got nothing to say about the game. I may check it out if it's inexpensive, but yeah, a lot on the plate considering. But Assassin's Creed Shadows and The Witcher have joined Dead by Daylight. These two both kind of came out of left field for me. Assassin's Creed Shadows dropped a week ago, and The Witcher dropped yesterday. And a lot. You get two, what do they call it? Killer skins. One for I forget his name. I think it shows it. Eredin.
Oh, dickhead.
Yeah, the dickhead, the Skull Knight. And one for the Leshen. Meanwhile, you get Ciri, Yennefer, Trist, Geralt, and I want to say there's a fifth, but I'm not 100%. Does it show everything that's in the? Oh, there. Nope, just the four. Which, not a bad four to pick. No Bard.
No, yeah. I mean, you could have picked what is his name? The other Witcher. That's helping look for Ciri.
The older one.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, and yeah, if it was the Bilth,
It's gonna bother me.
that's fair. While you're looking this up, everything, including a collection that
Messenger.
that's right.
It was gonna bug me.
Collection available now available. It saves you, I think, 40% if you buy the whole entire thing. So, I mean, keep that in
Oh,
mind.
nice.
As for the Assassin's Creed, I didn't really pay too much attention, but it didn't really.
It's a weird one. I
Yeah, it
mean,
didn't.
Witcher's already kind of a weird one, but that's definitely a weird one.
Yeah, it didn't really show too much on the in-game trailer except for the Oni mask. So I assume this one's a costume for the Oni, the actual in-game killer, and I would assume Yusuke and I forget the other the female's name.
I haven't played it,
I
so
also haven't touched it, but they didn't show any of the characters like they
I'm
did for
still
The
like two,
Witcher.
3 games behind.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I even want to go back to Valhalla. It was a lot of snow to trudge through. I don't know.
Yeah, I still have to finish Odyssey.
Oh, I remember finishing Odyssey. I just don't. I don't remember the
I'm
story.
struggling. I'm fucking struggling.
Put me to sleep. Honest to God, I fell asleep at the controller. Eh. But dope. So remember how we were talking about how we wanted shotguns in scary games? Well, good news. Deadcam definitely does that. Early access is June 23rd, and you hop into this what looks to be a school facility, and you can fight back all of these undead cheerleaders, schoolgirls. I don't know. You get a shotgun.
Schoolgirls, not cheerleaders. I think those are supposed to be the uniforms.
Okay, I can see it now.
Yeah, it's Japan, and
the
they got
the
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 uniforms
fraying
versus.
the fraying on the dress kind of got me and thinking that they had tassel style inlays. But you get a shotgun, so you can push them back, get them out of here.
Reminder to everyone: grab your Epic games. We've got Tiny Tina's Wonderland and Limbo this week. And don't forget to grab your Amazon Prime games. We have that mini golf with friends one, and a few others that I didn't recognize, but I grabbed them because free is free.
Free is free. Free 99. I'm just gonna briefly say they showed a little bit of gameplay during the state of play for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. It looked good. I am not getting it. Unreal Engine. There you go. Badu. uh, this game we talked about a little while ago. Memories in Orbit, a Metroidvania that all we had was just a lot of hand drawn scenery and a little bit of what looked to be gameplay, not really anything too much. Now we actually have some official gameplay, and the drawings that are around actually look a little bit more spacious. And the map that we see is very Metroidvania. It's very large. This looks like a fun one. I have been very hungry for a game lately where it's like a Metroidvania. I've been wanting a looter shooter, but Metroidvania I think might be the keynote to getting a little bit of that serotonin boost, you know?
I don't necessarily need the serotonin boost. I need the energy. So like for like a week, I played Doom Eternal every night and finished it finally. And now my energy tank's back at like 0, and so I'm sitting here going, oh yeah, there's still several games on my list. Plus, I need to play the new Dark Ages.
Yeah.
And I just the instant I think of like sitting down and investing time, I'm like,
I'm
no.
hungry.
I think I'm gonna take a nap.
That's fair. I hope you do get into that Dark Ages soon, because yeah, it is
Yeah,
very fun.
it's the goal.
But dupe. Uh, gonna briefly touch this one. The state of play kind of started off with like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Oh, okay, cool. And then this came up, and I don't know why. So the trailer starts up with a gentleman saying, "I need to use the restroom." Another gentleman pops up and goes, "Well, you use this bush over here." The guy goes, "Well, I can't." On Then it kind of gets awkward, and then it showcases the gameplay, which is he is beginning to walk up this steep hill and tumbles over. The gameplay didn't quite register with me when I first saw this until I realized this, that where he just stomps forward. It's a co-op game. It's a rage game. And I said, "Why are okay?" Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy we're still building them in 2025, but I don't know. It just felt real awkward. Game is called
I
Baby
mean,
Steps.
a game about getting all the way to a bathroom on a mountain while wearing a onesie is. I mean, obviously, it's gonna do well at the Game Awards.
Yeah, someone's gonna stream it. Someone's gonna have fun with it. If it had Twitch integrations where like something gets thrown at you, I guess sure, fine. But this,
Oh yeah, I bet you this is gonna do amazing on streams.
oh, probably, but I don't think this is a game for either one of us.
No, I have zero interest in playing this. I won't even think. I have zero interest in watching someone.
Me too.
Okay, apparently there's someone upsetting the dog. According to the cameras, it is a little kid riding by on a scooter.
Cool.
Like I have zero interest in watching it. Like it's not be one of those ones I can even watch. Like Socks mentioned, oh, it's Getting Over It with stomping. I can't even watch people play Getting Over It.
It's
Like
it's
it
frustrating.
it doesn't entice me. I want some true level of completion. I don't know.
It's not our cup of tea. Bud.
No.
But you know what our cup of tea is? Mortal Kombat, baby.
Yes.
So this was kind of an outlier. I was not expecting a full collection, like maybe some of these. But then it said, you know what? This is going to be a full fucking collection. So Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, and Mortal Kombat 4, and more is in this collection. And I pointed at the screen and I said, no, you son of a bitch. You show me Shaolin Monks or the not Ultimate Alliance. There was another one that was on the PS2. But even still, I said, show me the and more, you bitch. And it does behind the scenes stuff.
Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance, thank you. And it says the most complete collection ever. And I said, then just tell us what games are up on it, you silly Billy Walnut heads. I mean, mute it.
It could also be Mythology's Sub-Zero if they want to go back to the 64.
That's cool too, but like it doesn't show us any of that. It shows us the Game Boy version, which I was like, okay, and it doesn't.
My whole thing on this is that these are going to be, just like they were back in the old days, and for some of those, that's perfectly fine. For others, it's gonna be really rough.
Well, good news, the arcade versions are available, so we'll be okay. We have the actual hardware to play these now, so I'm excited because we're getting online play with rollback netcode. So for those uninitiated with what rollback netcode is, it is if you are pressing the block button, even if look like they're about to hit you, good news, you have precedence of blocking that strike. It's not going to be like, but on my screen I showed that I hit you. No. That rollback netcode is going to cover your ass. It's fair. It makes things very fair.
I don't play multiplayer. I lose.
Another thing about this trailer, they have a fucking grid. For those who haven't played Grid in an arcade, the grid is like you have a ball on one hand and a joystick in the other, and you are basically playing a tank that rolls in like actual 3 dimensions. It's so fucking fun. And I was like, I didn't even think they had those anymore, but I forgot that this was Midway. They actually had like a line of Midway games earlier in the trailer somewhere. But even still,
you know what I want?
What's that?
I want an arcade release of like this is where it's the old arcade games put on console.
Okay.
Of the Star Wars games.
I remember a couple of them. I remember the one with the joystick, and you can like fly on Hoth and fuck around with the ATSTs.
You take down the AT-ATs. Yeah, that's mainly the one I'm thinking of. So they had the one where you'd sit down on the chair and it had the joystick, and it wasn't just flying around taking out the AT-ATs. You would also then go through and the joystick, it counts as like a gun too, if I'm remembering correctly. And so you're also like going through and you're taking cover and you're shooting stormtroopers and shit. Uh,
If I had to do an arcade, I think Too Spicy, but I don't know if you know that one.
I don't.
Here, yeah, let me whip this over here. Yeah, there we go.
They also had the Battle Pod. Do you remember that one?
Battle Pod? No. Here, I'll pull that up
Um,
too. Battle Pod? Oh, here we
I
go.
think
Star
that's
Wars
what it's.
Battle Pod. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Show the stream.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to plop it over here. Can I put it right there? Yes, I can. So there's the Battle Pod. And so funny thing
Yeah.
about Primetime Amusements, they actually sell full-sized cabinets that are just ready to go. You just have to put it together. Sadly discontinued.
Yeah, that thing was sick.
And they even have gameplay on it too. Large dome, link 2 units for team play scoring and player avatars provided by the built-in cameras. Holy shit, that's fucking baller. In Unreal 4? Shit. Here, let me pause this. Go here. Nope. Show me. Nope. Can't play any of that. There we go. Oh, that shit looks great. Does it move?
I don't think it did.
No, it doesn't. That would be cool if it had like the F-Zero style moving. Bummer. But it does
Oh
look
my god, I
fun.
haven't played F-Zero in so long.
Let me
I think
show-
I still have a copy of the N64 copy.
Let me show Too Spicy. So Too Spicy was two cabinets, kind of pointing like an L, so that way you couldn't,
Oh, I
quote-unquote stream
do
fight.
remember this.
Yeah. And so you were up against the CPU, and then someone could just join up and then just start shooting at you. It was very fun. I really liked this game. The music was baller. Anytime I ever saw this, it caught my eye. It just was an overall good game. But
What was the 2-player with the guns time something?
Time Crisis?
Time Crisis. Kept going Time Splitter. I'm like, that's not correct.
Time Crisis 3 probably had to be my favorite one though, because that was the one that was just the basic one that everyone had, and the pink and the blue, yeah, pink and the blue guns and all that, yeah, not a problem. Uh, what was the House of the Dead?
House of the Dead was great.
4 Deluxe definitely, well, 4 in general had these little Mac 10s. I think House of the Dead 3 had a shotgun.
One of them did.
Let's just look up House of the Dead and see real quick.
Do you remember the Terminator 2 arcade game?
The one that had the giant fuck off like guns, I guess you can call them.
They were almost like Uzis, but they were like right up to the fucking screen.
Up to the screen, huh? Let's just go Terminator. Let's just look up Terminator and see what comes up. No, well, not on this site. Bummer. I would have to search elsewhere.
Now those ones were good too, but no, the original Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Terminator 2 cabinet. Nope. I searched cabinet, not cast. Cabinet. Okay, yeah, with the green and the. Oh no, you said the. Oh, okay. I think I see which one you're talking about. Let me click.
I think it was another Midway.
Pop. Oh god. No, that's not what I want. Back. There it is. That one. Wait for stream to catch up.
Yes, that one.
Okay, I remember this one, but it's being sold by Arcade 1UP, which is a bit of an odd one to say. This is the one I remember. But I'm glad that it's being sold by a actual retailer.
I remember other games with this, but I don't remember Terminator with this.
Do you remember? Oh god, I want to remember. Hold on. Yeah.
Speaking of
Okay.
Terminator, I finally sat down and watched those last two movies, and I finally get what you're talking about. Those movies sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an eBay listing, which kind of sucks, but I don't think I'm signed in. So, have you ever played Revolution X featuring Aerosmith?
No.
So, there was an arcade that we would pass by every time we would go to Boulder City. and they had retro arcade games. They had fucking War Gods. They had Virtual Fighter 2. They had this. They had Batman and Robin. And then they had this really strange one that you could play Super Mario Brothers 2 on. Like, it was this wacky fucking arcade. But this one was very fun. It would start off with just the whole band having a entire concert and all these people trying to stop you with music, and you're not shooting bullets, you're shooting CDs. And the revolution will be painted, baby. And then it just would change the scene, and it was very interesting. But I can't wait to find more arcades in the near future that have just strange games.
Well, and then lastly, we have to talk about the Jurassic Park arcade.
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah.
Like that one. That was a fucking great one.
See if I can't pull it up.
They redid it back in the 2010s, and it was fucking still awesome.
Yeah, the only downside is those are expensive to maintenance.
Yeah.
Is this the one you're talking about? I'm just double checking. Hang on. In 3, 2, you should see it. Because I don't know if it's this one. I think it looked different than
That's the redo.
Okay, that's a redo. That's what I thought.
That's the redo. It's still great, but that's the redo, yeah.
Where is he?
No, so the other one had the other Jeep design. The like green and whatnot Jeep.
Oh, okay. I think I see what we're talking about. Hang on. It is loading. Oh God! Please don't tell me you're hacking my stuff right now. Okay. It's gonna be loading. Bop. Oh boy. Like this. Hopefully this is a good enough image.
Yeah. Okay, and like so, like you see how it's like squishy down at the bottom. The seat moved.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I would want some seatbelts on that sumbitch though.
Yeah.
Buckle down. Goddamn. The 1990s were pretty much a hang on for your fucking life.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And then they had there was one other one they had that I never played, but I remember seeing it where it was a lot like the redo, but it wasn't like you didn't have like the roof and the backing to it. You had like curtains that hung down.
Let me see if there's another like curtain.
Yeah.
I don't see that one. I see like a shaded one. Hold on, let me see. Oh, maybe.
I wonder how much it would cost to get one of those 94 cabinets and what it takes to.
They're probably scrap heap now. They scrap most of those. Is it this one here?
No, that one looks cool though.
Okay. Then
Like it didn't have like the full covered back. It had more like the seat, like the 94 one.
Ah, gotcha. God, there's so many.
Yeah.
There were so
No,
many.
there were so many.
Someone is.
I miss arcade games like this.
Someone is selling one of the seats for the old one that you're looking for.
Just the seat.
Just the seat. Take a crack at how much they're wanting it for.
$8,000.
1,300.
Oh, okay.
Not as bad.
I was figuring the machine itself was probably 10.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there going, "Well, I have a part of it, so."
Yeah. Back over to the state of play.
Oh, here you go, real quick. I found an eBay for the remake, and it's ranging between 12 and 17.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
One day, Q. One day.
Hey, I will tell no one if I win the lottery, but
There will be signs, yes. Hirogami, a really good-looking papercraft style game where you can play as a swordsman, a frog, an armadillo, or an ape. It looked like it had some really good music, but it only gave us about a half-minute long of its gameplay. Very platformy, very Paper Mario-y, but in a better third-dimensional-ish kind of way. I liked it. Sad we didn't get more of it. But doop. However, what we did get is a minute and a half of Nioh. Nioh 3 to be exact. I played Nioh 1, it was fine, beat it. Nioh 2 kind of shook me because it changed a lot. Nioh 3 might be dragging me back though. It looks fun. Looks very fun. Looks very quick. Parrying looks to be a little bit more articulated than the hope you get the timing. This one seems to have a lot more better creatures too. Yeah, no, Koei Tecmo, you lost me in the first half, but in the second half, holy shit, we got ninjas back. I'm excited. Do we have a date on that one? Early 2026 is what it says.
You're excited. I thought you weren't going to go through with this. Oh, wait, sorry. I got the games confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating. I'm heavily debating because there's a lot of games that are going to be coming out over the next year. I don't. My backlog is already 17 games further than I would have thought.
The thing is 17 games further than you thought doesn't mean 17 games. Probably means 117 games. You just thought you were at 100.
Like, I'm still working on Expedition 33. I'm still working on Paper Mario. I'm still working on. I just started on Deltarune, Chapter 3, and possibly 4.
So I'm currently not doing anything Nintendo, and now with all the information that's come out for the Switch 2, I know I'm not getting a Switch 2. So like I don't see me doing any real Nintendo game logging anytime soon.
Okay. I mean, I don't own an N64, but I'm playing Paper Mario.
I do own an N64.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't Paper Mario part of the Nintendo thingy?
Mm-hmm.
And on the Switch?
Mm-hmm.
The membership?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I see.
Yeah. Don't support people you don't want to support. That's all I gotta say about
it.
Yeah,
that's fair. We do not have to give them our money.
Yeah. Anyways, Ghost of Yote looks a lot better than I thought it would, but we only got a 50-second long trailer of her picking up her sword, walking to the edge of a fire, going, "You've been following me," walking away, and a wolf popping up and looking like it's talking to us? I don't know, man. We get more of a look in the middle of July with the next state of play, but they could have given us something, anything more than that. But if it's going to be anything like...
need to brush teeth.
Yeah, if it's going to be anything like Ghost of Tsushima, it's going to be probably fun to play. I'm still kind of here for it, even though I don't have a PlayStation 5. You know, I like looking at really beautifully articulated games that have a vast world, beautiful music. The combat could be mid to jank, but this is beautiful all the way through. I played a little bit of Tsushima.
I'm still sticking to I've got better things to spend my money on than a PlayStation 5. So I am very much still in that realm of my roommate owns one and I will borrow his whenever I'm using it.
That is also true. Borrowing one when
that's
available.
How I got Spider-Man 2. He was out of town and I went, cool. And I logged so many hours across like a weekend.
Fair. Yeah, if you can borrow one. But do. A bit of an interesting one. Tides of Tomorrow, which puts you on a island-like utopia where you have to grab something, but upon grabbing something, you realize someone came earlier than you to grab that. And it's a multiplayer game where you are following someone. You get to choose who you're following. And they make a decision. You can either follow them on that decision or go against the grain. And I'm like, but why can't I make my decisions for myself? Why do I need someone to guide my hand?
I mean, you kind of are, because you're choosing which decisions to follow.
Well, yes, but as we saw at the beginning of the trailer, the earlier player got the worm, which badgers me, because you can't stop that player.
Yeah, it's weird. I very much suggest people go and watch this trailer and really pay attention to it to decide whether or not this game's for them.
Yeah, it is a bit odd, but I do love its styling. The art and animations that kind of coveted this entire thing. Oh yeah, fantastic looking. But Trash City. I don't know if I want to live in a trash city. But
I already do.
That's fair. However, you know what isn't trash? the 007 First Light, we actually got some, not gameplay, but we got a lot of understanding of
Story. Well, there was a
story and
little bit of gameplay in there. Very, very little.
very little
minuscule.
gameplay. Scenes, we'll call them. But
Yeah, we got to see one of the car scenes. We got to see some of the melee scenes, and we also got to see a little bit of gunplay.
and a watch being used, a laser watch.
Yes, we did get to see the laser watch getting used.
I do like how they are portraying who I'm assuming is Moneypenny and Q.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah.
I am here for all of the. This is just going to be a movie with gameplay elements, and I'm happy for it. It's going to be Metal Gear Solid 4 all over again, and I ain't mad at that. I liked Metal Gear Solid 4. um, we get a little bit more of it in the hopefully during the summer games in a couple days. I hope that there will be a bit more of a broader spectrum to what we see, but until then,
And a
coming
reminder to
2026.
everyone: this is what we originally were knowing to be Project 007 from
God,
IO.
2022.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
heard about this all. We saw nothing but the circle with the James Bond walking down thing.
Yeah,
That
like
was it.
no, we got the bullet loaded into the gun. That's how they announced it.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. I'm glad they gave us this. I'm glad they waited to give us this. This was a lot. I mean, in a 3-minute long trailer, it feels like a lot.
Oh, best believe I watched this on my phone while out at work today because you sent it to me. I was like, well, I can't wait to watch that. I have to watch that now. When we're done with the podcast and I go to eat dinner, I'm putting this on the big TV to look at it.
Oh yeah, put that on 4K if you can. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, the big TV. Yeah.
Delicioso. But doop. For anyone who knows me like they know me, I love Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is a little bit more than the War of the Lions, but seeing this during the State of Play made me go, Square Enix cares. Square Enix really fucking cares. And we're getting War of the Lions in beautiful enhanced coloring with some UI changes, some better interfaces. You can go back to the original if you want to, but you bet your ass that music's sticking around. It is going to be available September 30th, 2025. And I wish that Advanced also got its bump, but that would have been asking a lot from Nintendo at this point to play nice in the sandbox, because that one was the Game Boy Advance exclusive. Yeah. Badoop. Oh boy. So, I really like Silent Hill. You know what I don't like, Quincy?
Sand because it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It does get everywhere. I don't like Konami.
Right.
This trailer for Silent Hill Forte or Silent Hill F looked really fucking good. It made me really enjoy the Japanese horror aspect that Konami was originally known for back when I played Silent Hill 2 on an old ass CRT TV in a dark room. Like, watching this trailer put me back in the past and made me go, ooh, this will be very fun. But I don't want to support Konami. They have screwed over the developers that I have grown to trust and grown to like. Sure, they've made a few missteps every now and again, looking at you, Death Stranding, but they have improved. They have still shown that they are human and said, okay, we'll make the next game better. Death Stranding 2 is going to be a little bit more action oriented, less delivery man. Okay, cool. But Konami, on the other hand, they're money grubbers. They don't like people. I'm at a tough spot with Silent Hill F. Go watch the trailer. It's very risque, but go watch the trailer. I'm actually stunned.
It feels too different.
Does it?
It feels like this wasn't made to be a Silent Hill game. It feels like they were making this as a game, and then they went, "Oh, you know what IP we haven't done with an Silent Hill? Let's change enough elements of this to make it that."
Right. I mean, so Silent Hill is, of course, the city, the town, the small hamlet that is up in Massachusetts. But Upon arriving there, you have your memories, and your memories become manifestations. However, in Downpour, they kind of are like, I've never been to this town before, but I'm being transferred there as a prisoner. And things kind of shifted and changed. That's why the town itself was broken. I think Silent Hill is a manifestation of a city, which I would be totally cool with, as far as the reasoning why it's now here in this Japanese style village.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
But at the same time, fuck Konami.
Fair.
September 25th, 2025. If you haven't really enjoyed this trailer, I I would love to support the artists that worked behind it. But yeah, as I said, I just have an issue with Konami. Go watch the trailer and enjoy it for yourself. But dupe. Speaking of artists that I really enjoy, Arxis, holy fucking shit. Uh, they've released 6 games in the last 4 years. All of them fighters, of course, but they're very, very quick to launching these games. And Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I, we didn't get Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or any of that sort. No. We got a brand new Marvel fighting game. They showed off 8 of the characters: Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Miss Marvel, Ghost Rider, Quinn, Star-Lord, and Storm. Yeah, I remembered all 8. And I gotta say, this looks like a good fighter. But Quincy has the same reservation that I do about this game. Make the story good.
Yeah, I'm bad at fighting games, so the only way you really get me invested in them is a good story.
Mm-hmm. As you can see in the background of this area, you see the original costumes of these heroes. I think this is like set in 2099 because, as you can see with Ghost Rider, it's a little bit more of the newer costume.
No, that's
Robbie?
that's Robbie.
That's Robbie?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's his skull too. Yeah.
okay, then do you know what Iron Man? Hang on, I'll go to him so that way I can get a better look of him. Do you know who? Oh, god damn it! Back it up. Back it up. Backing up. Do you know who this
Backing
Iron
up.
Man is? Because I've never seen this.
He looks like fucking Voltron.
He does look a little Voltron-y. He looks a little Gundam-ish. Looks a little Super Sentai-y. But I'm like, I don't know. I will say Storm looks really good in this animation style. The other 4 characters. Let me go to the 4 characters after this switch up here. Hang on. Star-Lord looks big, like ripped big. I am very happy that Miss Marvel is included. I felt like she's been getting the shaft as recently in things. Doctor Doom, fantastic looking suit.
What was the name of this game again?
Tokon, Marvel Tokon, Tokon.
I'm trying to see.
I really do like all these costumes.
They're just saying it's a Gundam-inspired Iron Man, is what I'm seeing.
Okay. Just curious if it had like story semblance. That was all.
Yeah.
But it has nothing yet. We may hear more from this come Evo 2025 in August. Hopefully. If I know Arxis like I know Arxis, I'll just be announcing characters then. Badoop. I played a little bit of Bloodstained, the first game. I think I almost done with it. I have to kind of crawl back into it. But Bloodstained is a really fantastic Metroidvania with a 2.5D art style. Really nice music, very classical, made by the guy who made Symphony of the Night really good. Is making a sequel, Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. No notes really. I really like Bloodstained, and I was surprised that it was announced during the state of play. I really wish that they had given us a lot more than $150 of announcement. And the after this announcement bit, there's a character I don't recognize, and he says something devious. I don't know if it's supposed to be a reference to something, but it doesn't click. If they had like a Belmont pop up, I would have shit my whole ass. But sadly, no. But dupe. So back into the land of confusing. We talked about this game when we first started this podcast. Pragmata.
When we first started it?
Near
Or you
when
mean
we
this
first
episode?
near when we first no, near when we first started this podcast. Like I would say maybe first 10 episodes. Probably.
Really?
Probably. I remember showing because I showed you because all they had at the very end was the 2022
Like,
on this little thing with that little smiley
I
face.
remember you mentioning this game. I
Mhm.
remember seeing the little thing. But I feel like it couldn't have been that far back. I mean, we started this time ago.
Well, 5 years ago ish.
No, we started longer than 5 years ago. It was definitely before pandemic.
Oh, it was. Well, near the beginning, I would say 20, maybe.
This was announced in 22 originally. Oh no, it was originally slated for 22.
You originally slated,
When did we first see images of that?
but even still, Pragmata. While you're looking that up, Pragmata was supposed to be like a what do they call it? A syscorp that was supposed to be all encompassing AI that builds technologies. And well, wouldn't you know it, it acted a little bit more like Datadyne or what's the one from Terminator?
Skynet.
Skynet. And
Or later on, it's Genesis.
yeah, we'll deal with Skynet, and lo and behold, nothing goes right, and oh no, robots are revolting against us again.
Okay. It was first announced in June of 2020.
Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, we didn't get much from this game. We got zero.
No,
from
we
it.
basically got him going into the room and finding her, and that was it.
Yep. And I was like, I have no fucking clue. Now we got a little bit
It
of
looks
gameplay.
interesting though.
It
This looks kind of
does.
like a cool concept.
It gives me Resident Evil. Oh god, what the fuck was the side projects called? Revelations 2. Where you have Barry Burton and a little girl with a little bit of extra abilities on your backpack. And
Is this slated to hit PlayStation 5, Xbox, XNS, as well as Windows? I'm surprised on it. Continue about the backpack.
In short, it gave us a little bit of gameplay, gave us a little bit of actually interesting stuff. Don't know if it's going to be on the table, but I was happy that they showed a little bit of a nod toward those who actually followed this project. And the card shifted and changed to 2026. It's real XD. Proud of them for at least saying, oh hey, we're still working on the game. Let's hope that no more complications. But dupe.
Well, that's what we always hope for, right?
Yes. So the way I told Quincy about this game is it is Among Us meets FTL meets Overcooked, a co-op roguelike adventure set in space where you have let's mute that. Where we have bits and pieces that you need to put together on a ship to either give it more shields, have some attack bases. You need to run around and reload your weapons using these orbs, building the orbs. It is very Overcooked-ish in its way of implementing the pieces. Who who's gonna panic first is kind of the idea. It is very roguelike in that the shop always changes. Spending money spends everyone's money. It looks like a fun time, but very frustrating if you have friends that don't get along well. It gives me Space Invaders vibes. And wouldn't you know it, that's the last gameplay trailer that we have for today. Holy
For
shit.
now.
For now. Next week.
Yeah, we got Xbox coming up. We've got another state of play next month. But it's gonna be busy. We're gonna have some chunky episodes for a bit.
Yeah. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ish. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 conferences between now and the next cast. Yeah. Over at the NVIDIA GeForce Now, at NVIDIA GFN, they are going to be doing 50 days, 50 upgrades with hashtag GeForce Summer of RTX, where you can hop in and get a RTX 50 series GPU, one of their really new G-Sync monitors that are worth like $800, a GeForce Now Ultimate membership drop, and a whole bunch more, including 50 series laptops, some Steam Cash, some actual GeForce RTX PCs. Go and check them out if you happen to want to see what they've got up for grabs and hopefully win. Because you got, 50 days of 50 chances within those 50 days, I suppose. Good luck.
I mean, I'm always for free shit.
Oh yeah, free 99. Speaking of free 99, X Defiant, the first-person shooter-ish extraction shooter, is shutting down as of the 3rd of this month, yesterday. A bit of a bummer. Ubisoft didn't really put too much of their eggs in this basket, but Ubisoft really hasn't been throwing too many eggs in any baskets, considering they have also canceled their what's coming up next talk about style thing that they would have. They've canceled that. So that's a bit of a bummer, I
Yeah,
guess.
that they're a mess lately.
I just hope that their future projects are cognitive and will spur some fun, but all we have is just a
I
title,
mean,
I think, for their next Assassin's Creed game. Because also,
well, they were pounding out the Assassin's Creed games too fast, and they were suffering from it. So them dialing back on that made sense.
let's hope it. Let's hope they can recover, because Ubisoft is a great publisher. It's just they don't have very many things to go off of now. And as of the 31st of last month, Multiverses has also shut down, which is another bummer. They had plans to release a lot of characters, but with low player bases, I think I couldn't see their player numbers, so hard to tell what honestly caused this issue. But
I think honestly, it's a combination of a couple things. I think one, it's the decision to unrelease and then re-release the game, um, combined with the running of the studio. And I don't mean the game studio.
no, I also don't mean that. I see what you're getting at. Do you want to talk about it?
We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but basically, the guy that runs Warner Brothers is an idiot.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't know how hard we were hitting, but yeah, we're
And
hitting the head. Yeah, he's a moron.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he cost an entire town jobs because he doesn't like airports. I mean, he wouldn't release Wiley versus or Coyote versus Acme. He locked up the Batgirl film, and he keeps changing the name of HBO Max. And what's the new thing? He's just he wanted to give himself a massive pay raise, and the stockholders went no.
Nar. And 60% of them was like he's overpaid as it is.
Yep.
I'm like, when your stockholders are
Like,
telling you you make too much, that should make you kind of self-analyze that you're doing something wrong.
I mean, it really comes down to, he ran Discovery, which is a completely different animal from Warner Brothers. He never should have been the one that got to run Warner Brothers when the merger happened.
Is there any chance that we can get like someone better in the near future? Is there someone that you can nominate?
There's nobody I would nominate as of right now. I don't know enough about current studio heads.
James Gunn.
Every now and then.
Give it to James Gunn.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't want to run things. He turned down the DC studio job more than once.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wants to make movies, and the only reason he agreed is because they got Peter in there to do all the stuff he doesn't want to do, and then um, but yeah, there's no one I can think of because I don't know any of the studio heads really. It seems like Paramount's making weird decisions lately. You got Bob over at Disney, but he's over at Disney, and he's already tried to retire from that once, and like placed him, screwed everything up there, so they had to bring him back.
Iger,
So
right?
I don't think, yeah. So I don't see him wanting to to move to another company. I mean, I think he wants to retire.
Mm.
I don't know if there's any like good studio heads out there right now. Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, these people tend to just be billionaire CEOs, and well, billionaire CEOs.
Well, here's to hoping that both Ubisoft and Warner Brothers get their heads out of their asses and kind of makes things better
But
for the consumer.
when you have your stockholders saying no to your crazy ass pay raise, it's a matter of time before as the studio head. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully. And even with Ubisoft and the disastrous launch of Skull and Bones, that's also another one.
Which they're still putting more into.
I'm
They're
proud of
doing
them,
a whole new
but
season and
who?
whatnot. Right.
Who's playing it? Honestly.
I don't know. Like even the people I know that have the game, I think they stopped playing it.
That's fair. I mean, well, I know what they were playing probably in the last couple of months. Baldur's Gate 3. Speaking of D&D, I'm gonna coin Game Informer for this one. Glad that they're back, and glad that they're going to be releasing physical copies very soon. So keep your eye on that. But D&D and Giant Skull, a brand new development studio founded by Respawn veterans, including the director of both the Star Wars Jedi, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, as well as God of War 3, have decided to do a major handshake to do a new Wizards of the Coast D&D game. I would really like to see how this is going to go down. So far, we would not be surprised to see a game starring D&D legend Driss Jordan or, anything of that sort. And I'm like, personally, give us another Larian-style Baldur's Gate game. Give us a customizable character. Give us a customizable character. Give us dice rolls. We like our dice rolls.
I will BRB. Keep going.
Yes, sir. But I can definitely stand behind wanting a good game in the near future. I'm slowly getting tired of new companies rising up and taking money and running. But this is a game I would trust because I haven't even played the Jedi Survivor / Fallen Order yet. I need to. I've been told to a bunch of times. Badoop. Oh, it's time for Butt Shoe News. I forgot.
I'm here. You can do it.
Okay. Well, here is Superman Crocs covered in a cobalt blue of comic panels of Superman while having the red yellow S blazoned down the middle and a gibbet holding the strap in the speed strap. No gibbets from the look of it that go on the top of it, which is a bit strange. No
Because the shoe itself's already a fucking big block of kryptonite. They didn't need to add anything else.
That's fair. I would prefer like a little tiny gibbet of green kryptonite, but I digress. June 26th. Usually the collaboration ones cost 70. They do cost 70. That's all the shoe news I could find. I went down 3 different areas. There's not a lot coming out in the last bit.
That's not true. We have one more.
We have one more, but it's not technically shoes you can wear. I think. At least I hope not.
We would advise against it, but you do you.
Yeah, they look like maybe a little bit smaller than size 6s, but we have a 1,180 piece Lego set. Now, stepping on Legos may hurt, but what if you put them into a shoe form? Good news, you get a shoe that has compiling parts that you can kind of break down, a basketball-headed minifigure, a basketball Lego, like that actually looks like a basketball and whatnot, that goes onto a standee that spells DUNK with a little tiny LED light, I think. It's an adorable little shoe display stand that Nike has helped put together. Even on the inside, the plate that kind of covers the sole is Lego and Nike. You even got the swoosh that you get to build. This looks fun. This looks marvelously fun. $100 drops July 1st, 2025. Basketball head man. So remember how a little bit ago I said that you could watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on their TV station on YouTube? Well, good news, if you have an episode you want to watch in particular, such as the It's Shredder, Where episode, you can now watch it on Tubi for free, with a limited ads, of course, but even still, you can watch whatever episode you're wanting to watch at that time. All 10 seasons are there.
There's a few things that I watch on Tubi. Like, yeah, it sucks, like, because you get a lot of ads. Those people are buying ad spaces lately. But yeah, generally I just go to the bathroom or something.
That's fair. You need time to use the restroom. I think that's normal.
Yeah.
But speaking of how weird Max is, Tom and Jerry is no longer on HBO Max, or Max, I guess. Or is it HBO Max again? I keep forgetting.
I think it's currently still Max, but I think they're going back to HBO Max. They changed the color of the app icon. It's no longer blue; it's like a black color now. And I'm like, okay, now I don't know. I never find it on my thing because I'm looking for the blue icon.
Even
and on Paramount Plus, going, this isn't Max. What the hell's going on?
Even still, they canceled Tom and Jerry on HBO Max, which is they took it all off. Bit of a bummer, but they've started working with an art studio that is making Tom and Jerry Goko, which is like a much more, I guess the best way I could put it is Tom and Jerry Kids, where they look a little bit more smaller, but the gags are still the same. They are a little bit more of a chibi style, an anime-ish style, but as said, all the jokes that we're accustomed to are very similar. Where Jerry eats the giant piece of cheese and turns it into the shape of that cheese type of jokes. Like, they haven't changed much. But it's not releasing on Max. No. They found out that they're just going to be like, we're going to throw this to YouTube. And be damned our streaming service. What? You guys are throwing away money.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't either. But even still, if you want to go watch it, it'll be available, I believe, August 1st for the entire thing. But doop. Back to fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I should have probably had this back there, but it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Bodacious Beach Bros, where they are all dressed up in their beach gear, and you get 3 pizzas. You don't get any of their weapons, which is kind of interesting. But hot dang, you get a lot of really cool stuff. Strangely, no prices as of yet, because this is all for their pre-order stuff that is going to be exclusive on June 18th to June 20th. And this is to kind of celebrate the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. So this is going to be a part of their exclusivity to the San Diego Comic-Con or the NECA convention booth, I guess. I don't know if they have a booth there, but
I would assume booth.
I would assume booth. And I mean, they even, as NECA usually does, they dress them up in their areas that make them look a lot more fashionable. I appreciate it.
But I'm telling you, man, we got to get a hold of these and just take them to the beach.
They'll have fun. Badoop. I like talking
Cowabunga.
about Cowabunga. Party, dude. As a fan of Critical Role, I just want to briefly say that they're making a hardcover book called A Decade of Destiny, the Critical Role Collection, which is a slideshow that has a lot of animators, artists that has done a bunch of beautiful pieces that have been paid for, thankfully, because a lot of artists haven't been paid for their work in the last couple of months, and I just want to well known that they have paid their artists well.
Good.
And the cover of this book, fucking fantastic. It has like this really nice sheen to it. Oh my god, I kind of want it, but I'm gonna let it pass for now.
That is beautiful.
I'm gonna let it pass for now. And there's apparently a password, and I guess the password has to do with dicks. Still have no idea, have no clue. Just gonna throw it out there. Dicks. Oh, badoop. Going all the way back to the fighting game of Marvel vs. Capcom, the original Marvel vs. Capcom, these figures, which look fucking fantastic. You get a pair of them in most of them, except for the really big ones, such as the Juggernaut or the. I keep forgetting his real name. Starts with an S. I gotta
Yeah, I
scroll
don't
down.
remember.
I had Shuma Gorath, which I don't know why they changed his name to Gargantos. He's Capcom owned, which means his name shouldn't have changed. But even still,
Wait,
hmm,
no.
Shuma?
They're calling him uh, Shuma Gorath is a Marvel character.
Is he really?
Yeah. Did you see Doctor Strange too?
Yeah, I did.
He fights him in the streets of New York.
That's Shuma?
Yeah.
Oh, well, even
All the
still,
tentacles and the big ol' eyeball.
oh, I didn't put two and two together. But even still, the change of name is a bit weird. Gargantos. I would have preferred Shuma, but whatever. But Juggernaut also comes in a single box. He's a big man. The duo packs are Wolverine and Silver Samurai, War Machine and Omega Red, Psylocke and Thanos, and Captain America and Venom. All of these can be posed to look like
Oh, here we go.
their in-game models. Yes.
In Marvel Cinematic Universe, Gargantos is a stand-in for Shuma Gorath, but with a different name due to legal reasons. While visually similar, Gargantos stated distinct entity, not simply a rebranded. Uh, Gargantos is a giant octopus-like creature, while Shuma Gorath is a cosmic entity.
Hmm.
I don't know what the legal issues are, but yeah, there we go.
Hmm. I do like the Juggernaut figure though. Looks big. Looks angry. Um, all of these will be available June 5th, June 6th, June 12th, June 18th, and then lastly, Juggernaut at June 26th, with War Machine and Omega Red coming in July, with it being a Walmart exclusive. I don't like that kind of exclusivity, but I'm glad that, we're getting. Oh, no, I take that back. Psylocke vs. Thanos is a Target exclusive. Hmm. I don't know. I remember when I used to get like the Walgreens exclusives, they were fine. Like that was the only way you can get Punisher, but when you want to collect all these really good ones, because as I said, these ones you can actually pose out like actual Marvel vs. Capcom. That's some good shit. Yeah. But
If further looking into it, because I'm just curious. So it's because it comes from the Curse of the Golden Skull, which is a thing by Robert E. Howard. It's very Cthulhu-esque. And so Shima-Gorath is technically owned through Heroic Signatures, a subsidiary.
oh,
That's
okay,
why.
okay. So an actual legal reason. Okay,
Yeah.
bummer. I mean, that's fine then. Uh, Something that came up on my feed that I kind of scratched my head about, and I kind of made a meme about it, but at the same time, I was like, probably that's how the movie's gonna go. A Phasmophobia movie is at the works at Blumhouse. Now, the joke I made was, what are they gonna do? Walk inside of a home, drop down an empty book, drop down a cross, turn on the TV, turn off the TV, and say it's an Oni and leave? I don't know. It doesn't seem like Phasmophobia has too much of a story, but I trust Blumhouse enough to kind of let them cook for a little bit.
The
Hopefully we
concerning part is they have to figure out how to do that for an hour and a half.
that is fair. Hopefully there's going to be a good connecting story that has them relevating a uh we need to get the ghosts out of the house, maybe, because when you find out that there's a specific type of ghost in a house, you don't really do anything about it. You just go, yeah, it's this kind of ghost, and that's the mission. So hopefully it is getting rid of
Yeah,
something.
I would assume that they would have to actually deal with said ghostesses, ghostai.
Ghost eye. Yeah. If it's I'm actually very curious if it's like anything like 13 Ghosts, where it's multiple ghosts that are each haunting the different parts of a mansion. That'd be cool. Uh, I'm gonna leave it up to hope. I wouldn't mind a 13 Ghosts remake. That was a good movie, even
Do
though
we
it's
really need a remake? We can just accept how amazing the original is and just keep...
the original has its bumps and bruises, and the only thing that made it better was
Matthew
um,
Lillard is perfect.
Lillard and how do you pronounce his last name?
I have no idea.
Schlob?
Sure.
Okay. In short, the main guy behind
Yeah,
that,
the dad.
the dad. Those two didn't carry that movie on their backs, but the monsters also kind of were
The
very,
monster, fucking great.
they were
Those
fantastic,
designs were amazing.
top notch. Plus the drawings, top notch also. The deaths were a little lackluster, but
That's one of those things you can only kill so many people in that movie because the cast is such like a
yeah, yeah,
tight knit thing, especially story wise.
yeah. I'm worried about the phasmophobia, but hopefully it'll be fun. Dupe. Uh, these popcorn buckets are fucking adorable. So on the right we have a giant Galactus popcorn vessel that has just a large popcorn in it. That's fine. That's cool. However, on the left is Herbie, that holds a large popcorn, a large drink, and a candy slot, and it holds all three. So you just have to carry Herbie.
The thing that sucks is they're both AMC, so I would have to
Yeah,
go to just buy the popcorn buckets and then leave.
a bit of a bummer, but are you?
Probably not. These things aren't cheap.
These things are not cheap.
They're
Good
like
news.
30-40 bucks on average.
Good news, there are places where you can buy them. I guess I'll call it secondhand because you gotta
Yeah,
get them
but they
for the
tend to
tax.
fucking charge them outrageous rates.
Yeah, hopefully not too outrageous. Hopefully they
I'm
all
hoping
look
to see
good.
a good one from Regal, but I have a feeling it's just gonna be a bucket with the logo on it, based off of the fact that AMC got to do both Herbie and Galactus.
I'm putting hope that they would do the Thing's head, like doing like a it's
Oh
glow in
no,
the
they need to
dark.
do like a drink cozy that the drink slides into, and you put your fist in, and it's the thing's fist,
That'd be cool. I could rock with that.
kind of like a Hulk smash hand.
Yeah. Oh. You should hire us, Regal. We'll make you millions. But dupe.
Or at least hundreds.
Or at least, yeah, at least a little bit of money. So Helldivers has been going up and down on my feed, and I've been keeping an eye on it. I glance every now and again, and there's an actual overarching story that the multiplayers keep going through. The planets that keep getting reconquered or pulled back, the war bonds, the season passes, I guess you can call it, that keep coming out that explain why Super Earth is running out of money, but they're going to use very dangerous technology that is very inexpensive. How Super Earth is
Technology.
right now. Yeah, don't do that. And how Super Earth is slowly being taken over, and the Super Earth president has passed away, and now we're trying to fight for that liberty. I'm like, that's okay. So there
If
is
only
now.
you had the backup of Xbox players.
Yeah, yeah. Sadly, we don't. So here is an interesting
Because
set
Sony
of
hates money.
Sony loathes it at this point. Uh, there's some.
Every time Sony announces something, I sit there and go, "You guys really don't like, do you?"
I was actually scratching my leg, hoping there. I was like, "Is there going to be anything during the state of play that I'm going to be like, yeah, I want?" And lo and behold, like 3 or 4 in, they do the Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm like, "You fucking son of a bitch." I mean, that's probably one of the only things I'm going to go out of my way to get is probably the Final Fantasy Tactics. Everything else is shaky. But if you head over to the IGN store, they have Helldivers 2 replica helmets of their original helmets. And I gotta say, they look really fancy, as well as the Helldivers 2 original game soundtrack on vinyl, on a beautiful yellow vinyl, um, with this really nice slipcover. I really do enjoy the automaton slipcover that it comes with. Of course, you've obviously probably heard most of the music that is in Helldivers if you've done more than 3 missions. The replica helmets are $60 a piece. and available for pre-order. When did they come out? Did they say when they come out? Oh, and the pre-order date ends in 22 days, so purchase quick. October 2025 is the release window. Ba-doop. Oh god, I love this goofy little face. So Nendoroid,
Okay, I wasn't prepared.
Nendoroid, a chibi figurine company, likes to do a lot of things, and they did a Shin Godzilla, where obviously he looks a little, happy-go-lucky, a little derpy. Has his mouth beam, the purple pearlescent one. I will say, having that little glow on top of him, though, makes him look really intimidating, kind of.
No, because the stand they have holding up his tail makes it look like he's taking a dump.
A little bit. Yeah, he is a little.
This thing is amazing. Where can people go look at this at if they're listening to the podcast?
HLJ Hobby Link Japan, and then you just look up Nendoroid Godzilla. This is a pre-order for $67.65 USD plus a little bit of shipping because of tariff nonsense. But the only reason why I brought this up is because they did announce something that went along with this. The box is really reminiscent of Shin Godzilla. What do you know? We're getting Shin Godzilla 4K remaster in North American theaters on August 14th. A little bit of insight.
Maybe I'll finally watch it.
Oh, it's really good. Albeit, sure, every now and again he does do the derpy thing as he's evolving. But if you can work past that,
the one that has to run around on its belly is the one that I think is the most funny.
That's stage 2. You'll see it in that movie. But after a couple weeks after this shows in the theaters, it will be on streaming services in the 4K, and then hopefully by Christmas we will see this in HD DVD and Blu-ray. Yippee! Speaking of kaijus and fighting them, a 4-pack of Pacific Rim. What do they call these? Just I guess rims, riffs. What do they call these?
I don't remember. I only watched that movie once.
I only watched that movie once too. It was fine. It didn't really do
the Pacific Rim mechs.
Yes.
There you
go. Cherno Alpha is the big one with the forehead. Cherno Alpha. Something whiskey. I don't remember this one. And then
you're doing better than I can.
Yeah, I don't remember them. But even still, they look really good. And it's all 4 of them for $120 thanks to Empire Sky Studio. Yeah, they look good. But yeah, Pacific Rim, I guess, was just a one-off for us. Ba-doop.
Well, they did a sequel, which I also didn't watch.
I didn't watch it either. Was Idris Elba in that one?
Was Idris Elba in the first one?
I thought.
I remember.
God. I remember jack shit about the movie.
I remember. Really cool Idris Elba was in the first one. Yeah, Idris Elba was in the first one. You're right. Charlie Hunnam, something like that. Charlie Day.
Charlie Day was the conspiracy theorist, right?
I honestly don't remember.
Oh God.
And I remember Ron Perlman's in it.
Ron Perlman, yeah, he was the weapon trader.
Movie.
Yeah. Okay. I remember that the scene between Charlie and him where Charlie goes, "Hey, can I fuck with this?" And Ron's like, "What the fuck? You're doing what?" And then he goes, "Well, have you tried doing the rifting to a kaiju?" He's like, "What the fuck?"
It looks like the sequel follows Idris Elba's character's
daughter?
Relative.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a son or they have the same last name. Son of. Yeah, okay, so he's the son. And then Bern Gorman came back, Charlie Day came back.
Oh, okay.
Rinko Kikuchi came back. But yeah, no Idris.
See, nobody has any names on it. Wait, is there any names on this? Let's see. Bright Light.
It's also not. The sequel's also not Guillermo. So
Oh, here we go. Gypsy Danger, Crimson Typhoon, Cherno Alpha, and Striker Eureka. Oh. Yeah, I never would have got him in a million years. Doop. All right, time for the mouthful. So the Bandai, okay, Bandai Hobby Center Plamo Design Industrial Institute is a place where you can make your own custom Gunpla, your own custom Gundam model. Everywhere from the actual mold colors that are used to head, body type, arms, etc. They have a full walkabout tour, and then at the end of the tour, if you have like the VIP thing that where you purchase a ticket and get into that, you can make your own full thing that you go home, you deconstruct it, to clip all the pieces and build it, instructions and all. I want to do this. I just don't have the money to, number one, go to Japan, and number two, the $1,400 it is to make a custom build.
you ready for some bullshit?
Yeah, hit me with the bullshit.
Over the weekend, I went to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And I was checking out prices because it was one of those things, we talk about how different the rides are from Disney Place to Disney Place.
Okay.
Did you know Tokyo, Japan, it's only like $60 to go?
What the fuck?
Versus the $100+ it costs depending on what day it costs more. I mean, you still have that a little bit with Japan. But yeah, over $100 to go to any of the Disney parks in the US. But it's like $60 for the Tokyo, Japan. On top of that, they have a thing where if you want a day, there's cheaper tickets for that.
So wait, how many? How many?
How many what?
Wait, what? I missed what you said.
They also have a thing if you only want to go to the later half of the go for like the later half of the day,
Later
you can
half
pay
of the day.
less.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you're telling me like beyond like so matinee prices versus
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck. I'm
Except
so
reverse because matinee's earlier in the day.
yeah. But that's so fucking
So I'm sitting there
frustrating.
going, I could probably fly to Japan for the same price that I just flew to Florida. So
That's frustrating.
Yep.
I would like to visit Japan. Go and do this, but I I don't want to drop that much money on a personalized model, yes, where you get to actually pick out the plastic colors and whatnot down to its finest scale. Um, Someone did a video on it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna probably watch the video on how they built their own custom Gunpla model. I went through the museum. I am interested in that. And last but not least, the last bit of Lego we'll have to talk about is a Lego Toothless. It drops on July 1st, will cost $70, and it's kind of small.
It's kind of adorable. It is small. For 70, that is a little rough.
But it has a few Technic pieces, a few very interesting ones. Has his broken tail wing that has the repaired false wing on it, and a fish. You get to build a fish that I think he can ingest. And he spits out a little flame ball, which is kind of cool. Very adorable. But dude, that was a lot of games. Are you ready for more games?
Sorry. That I have nothing else.
Okay, but are you ready for more games next week?
I don't know if I can handle more games next week.
Well, next week we're getting Microsoft. We're getting what's going to be announced on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's going to pop up because Refutazio popped out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh well, shit. Looks like there's another JRPG on my list because I can play that now. But first, I'm going to be playing Deltarune. I'll talk more about Deltarune later on next week, hopefully.
Well, I mean, let me see. We just got Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the enhanced editions on Game Pass.
Mhm.
Something called Symphonia. I watched the trailer. It looks interesting. Crypt Custodian, Spray Paint Simulator. Those all just hit since we last talked. and now we're about to get a whole list of shit for the
Oh,
upcoming announcements.
oh yeah. I'm hyped. Hopefully something big. I don't know what, but I hope something big. Microsoft's got that cash. Fuck yeah. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe where you can. Remember to check the links down in the description for good old Humble Bundle. Get some very inexpensive games while helping out some kick-ass charities. Remember to check out our Hello Fresh. A couple more weeks of that on our plate. And speaking of that, you get 10 free. What was it? 10 free meals and a free add-on for life. Check out our click that over there. Zenny, they are holding no deals, but they are still offering their recycle, renew, reuse, now that are now called Eco Blooms, where you get recycled plastics, metals, and even plant-based frames for very inexpensive.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, Hero Forge, they offer nothing, but the affiliate link is there if you happen to want to support us while purchasing some minifigures. Remember to check out Quincy on his social medias. Are you posting anything up on your threads?
I haven't done shit, dude. I
That's
tried to log into my Blue Skies today, and for some reason, the password I have is wrong, and it's like I don't feel
that's fair. I've been posting a little bit more on my Twitter. I've been reblogging a bunch of stuff, a bunch of interesting things, some really kick-ass art. So if you happen to want to get away from the politics side of Twitter and slide more toward the kick-ass wrestling, Super Sentai, fucking Godzilla side, head over my way. Links are all down in the description, and if you go pop into the Discord if you happen to want to chat up with everybody. It's been a little slow lately, but maybe with some more chatters, might pick up some speed. At the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, please, for the love of God, love one another. It is definitely free to do. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Happy Pride Month.